Graham Lorraine just starting up at the roof here, around the back where that awkward corner was. John is showing me how he has replaced all these joist ends here. Just looking at things like wall plates, top of the wall. This is all pretty good timber, so that's good news. You can see up the back of the roof, this is all going to be stripped within a week. A lot of exploratory work happening at the moment here. Oh, all these valleys are getting stripped out very shortly. Broadly speaking though, a lot of this timber out the back seems to be probably slightly better than anticipated. Just give you a look around what's going on here at the back just now. Come round here a little bit. Again, all this tiling membranes is coming off. You can see the new chimney on the other side, but I'll go around and get you a closer picture of that in a minute. Yeah, let me just turn this off, get around to a little bit of the building. Round at the south gable, John's got the new outriggers on. Got some pine on the edge, a little bit thicker, which is good. And then back to circuit boards underneath. Just coming around the south elevation at high level, starting to notice, well, there's some cracks here in some of the stonework that I think we probably need to deal with down the line. These can be sort of penned and repaired. Just look up at the top here, south elevation. I don't know if you can see that, but the chimney's obviously gone. Just coming round to the front, beautiful view. Sorry, John. John's got the outriggers on this side as well. It's all looking quite good. Coming round the front here on this gable, there's a little bit of an unknown issue just in that corner. John's pointed out some bits of rot in there. They really need to get in and explore that. Again, the flashings, you can break it with your hand, so they're not in good condition. Round to the front of the smaller gable, just looking at these outriggers here. They're pretty rotten, but John thinks he can cut through here and replace this top. Again, the outriggers are done. You'll notice up at the top there that it's a different type of stone that was previously hidden by the old detailing, so I think we'll probably be hiding that again. The alternative is to buy in more sandstone, which we want to avoid. Just come around the other side of this front dormer. Again, this is all rubbish and ruined in these sort of awkward corners. The guys are working away at that. Same in there. Again, this roofing's going to be coming off soon as well. Just get around here. Right, I'm at the top of the bay window now. So it's obviously in pretty bad condition. What's more of a concern though is that in here there's a lintel, a timber lintel, which holds up all of this stonework. Now it looks quite rotten from water getting in through these rubbish flashings at the top. I'll just try and zoom in on that. You can see it's pretty bad. So it's a difficult thing to replace. So just talking to John about that just now, but you can see there's some sort of cracking and up that elevation. So it's a little bit of an unknown quantity at the moment as well. More of these outriggers being replaced. This is all going to be filled in with bits of stone. Just round to the side here, you can see all the membrane on here. These flashings again, not great. Guys have done a great job on the chimney. So I see it from here. Yeah, some line pointing going on here. This looks good. This looks better. Yeah, better like that, I think.
I'll put a few more in it as well on that.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I meant. I think it's a much better happy medium in terms of the way it looks. Yeah. But yeah, I'm all for it with the lime. It's cool. Take your lead. But yeah, thanks for doing that.
No, I'll get more of it.
Yeah, a few more, but not. Yeah, I don't think it's just an impression. I don't think you need too much, you know. I think that'll do it. I think it should look nice. But thanks, I really appreciate it. So yeah, just having a discussion there. Obviously, this previous stuff is actually just cement on the stone. It's not breathable, so it comes off. So the guys are doing it in lime and just sort of try to replicate the detail so it ties in. See if we can get a bit of a better look at the chimney. Yeah, it's all looking good. So hopefully, right. These are off the front of the gables, so I think John's been talking about options really for these. They're quite plain when you see them up close. I potentially think some holly leaves cut in them might be quite nice for the hollies. I'll get some sizes of these though and we can work up some designs. Probably quite a good spot to see the other chimney going and the new one. Yeah, so as I said, all this back roof's coming off next week, as is the front roof. Really the thing that's stopping the front roof being slated at the moment is actually agreeing these edge details on the front edge of the gable. I know from John was sort of thinking maybe something similar to the house next door. In my mind that's a wee bit ornate actually, but I think I'll have a think about this and put some proposals to you, which is probably best. Broadly speaking though, a lot of the timber underneath this roof is actually okay, apart from the exposed weathered end. A lot of the sort of fundamental structure is actually fine. So just sign off for a minute, go back into the house and show you some other things. So another thing to comment on from the outside is that these roof lights that are in are actually set substantially higher than the existing roof. It's part of the reason there's some water coming round about there. So a good bit of that's going to have to be sort of re-engineered, but Chris has looked at it and he's going to give us some sort of solution for that. But I think it's all just been done quite poorly. It's probably what it boils down to, but it's all fixable. Back outside, just give you a quick look of the site as a whole. Just kind of walking round. Obviously, I think all this scaffolding was, I don't know, I think it was just being finished the last time you were here. Excuse me. Just down is John's materials. These are all the slates. There's probably, I think, about £6 of slates here. You can see, here's an example. These are the extra wide ones they order for sort of cuts and edges and corners. The others aren't open, so there's like 2 slates in this pack. So they're the standard size. Just if we can just go around, spare bits of timber. These are the flashing pieces that we spoke about last time. Yeah, these are the slates for the bin. So just come back around the building a little bit, let you get a look, see what's going on. Just up onto the car park. I don't know if you can see in the bright sunlight. back inside, catch a bit of a review of some of the other issues. Let's get my hat on. So it's a bit cooler in here, it's quite nice. So just in terms of dampness issues and the report inside, it's obviously a bit of a mess in here with the chimney coming down. Main issues in this front room are the timber lintels that are up there. John's been asked to open these up, check them for damp. Through into the other front room, the lintel at the top of this room is particularly an issue. Needs opened up and checked. Again, that was the feedback from Peter Cox Villa. Again, a little bit of damp down here in the floor, but nothing John can't deal with. So there was nothing really identified woodworm, dry rot wise on the ground floor. Just coming up the stairs. Just a note, if you're in the building without John, this ceiling above the stair is just about ready to come down. So please don't come in this bit without a hard hat. Up into the first floor. Just go into this front southern room. This lintel up here needs opened up and exposed. All this coving up here is sort of bodged. It's not original, so I think probably going to open that up. Check in there. That was a request from Peter Cox Villa. Yeah, through into the small room. Similar issues here, but it's all was identified as wet rot, so nothing John can't just cut out and replace. So that's all reasonably positive. There was a concern raised that some of these partitions on the north side could potentially have woodworm in them. I spoke to John about that. I mean, this one's coming down for the plan. This one wasn't coming down, but it was probably about the only one that was staying. So I think actually, in light of what they're saying about the woodworm, opening it up, stripping it, preparing it, it might be easier just to take these down and redo them anyway. They're not supporting anything, they're not load bearing, and it would free us up in terms of the plan quite a little bit. Wouldn't be too precious about this wall. Into the front room, top floor, the bay window. Right above here is where I showed you that rotten timber lintel from outside. So it runs along there, and the stone above it is built off of that timber lintel there, so that's what's rotten. So there's quite a bit of exploration in there, and it's a bit of an unknown quantity until John really gets it properly opened up and Chris gives us a solution for it. So broadly speaking, no real woodworm to note on these floors, no dry rot to note on these floors. The potential of woodworm in these partitions, but I think with the amount of work we're doing in this area, we might as well just remove them, put in new partitions. We can put acoustic insulation in them and stuff like that then, which will be far better. So up to the top floor, there's been quite a bit of stripping out up here. So we start in the washroom, the back room. All this has been stripped out. Again, most of these timbers are broadly better than expected. This support bridle, you would call this here, we've always known that was going to be bad. Again, not a lot well, very little that John can't deal with. All this upstairs is going to be sprayed by the woodworm guy, just to make sure, because there is evidence of some woodworm, but most of this timber's good in here, which is good news. Through into the other room with the lowered ceiling. Again, this has woodworm, but the main rafters and things are actually fine, they just need sprayed. This lowered ceiling was all being cut out anyway, so that's not too much of an issue, but you can see the sawdust marks from the woodworm in here. It's probably where it's worst. But again, down these rafters it's all dry. Rafter ends are all okay, so not too much of an issue here. Actually, I don't think as bad as we thought anyway. Round here into the front room with a bay window. Wee bit of messing around being done here in the past. Showed you these Veluxes are sitting proud of the roof line. You can actually see daylight through here. So there's a big beam in here, which is really at the wrong position for us. So ultimately we're probably going to be putting in a new beam here and filling this in. Just on the point about the escape Veluxes in here today, I mean, we could obviously use this window as our escape window, and these could be just great big fixed panes of glass, which could be quite nice. So despite what I said this morning, I think it makes more sense actually maybe, and I think it'd be cheaper. There's a little bit of rot, again wet rot, down at the base of this floor. It's obviously coming in from the other side. Again, nothing too worrying actually. I think there's probably not much of a saving in terms of the woodworm and rot that's been uncovered, but I think more importantly there's not been a price increase because of additional discovered. So on balance I feel like it's been good news so far, but obviously waiting to see the report. Sarking boards look all okay, things like that. Yeah, so I think as good as we could have hoped, probably. There's a few little bits around these either side of the front dormers where there's those complicated junctions I showed you outside before, that again unknown quantity at the moment just because we've got to open it up. But I think could have gone substantially worse. Definitely opening all this up. Broadly speaking, all this timber back here is okay. There's a bit of work needs done on that valley, but we knew about that already. Yeah, John's made quite a good bit of progress on the strip actually already, so pretty pleased about it. He tells me all the roof slates and tiles will be off next week. Slaters will really be starting the week after when he gets back, so I'll just pause at that. Sorry, one other thing to mention in this back room, Lorraine, just talking about putting a window in this wall here. Obviously I hadn't thought that there's quite a lot of chimneys coming up like this in this wall. The guys are rebuilding the top. I've told them to hold off on that at the moment. John thinks it's probably easier just to take some of this stone down to put a window in and then build it back up again. So I've asked them just to hold off on finishing that top bit until we give them a decision. Also things like setting Velux positions and stuff like that. It's the last few things we need to do. Okay, I think that is probably all the video stuff for just now. All the guys are away for their lunch, so I'm just going to get a couple of extra measurements. Speak to John when he gets back, and yeah, I'll upload this and you can let me know your thoughts. Cheers.